Alright, let's cut straight to it. The Chicago Bears might actually be built differently this time around. Not rebuild differently, Super Bowl differently. But there's one glaring hole in this roster that could cost them everything when it matters most. If this kind of deep Bears analysis fires you up, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with every Bears fan you know. Let's build this community together. Now, a prominent NFL draft analyst and former league executive recently laid out what he believes every championship-caliber roster needs. 12 spots. That's it. 1 elite quarterback, 3 quality offensive playmakers, 3 dependable offensive linemen, 2 legitimate pass rushers, and 3 defensive playmakers who can genuinely change games. Simple framework. Brutal standard. So let's hold the Bears up against it, piece by piece, and be completely honest about what we see. Starting at quarterback, and the answer is yes. Caleb Williams is the guy. Now, is he the finished product? Absolutely not. Is there still room to grow, still inconsistencies to iron out over the course of a full 60 minutes? 100%. But here's what you cannot argue with. This young man has already shown he will not crack under pressure. 8 fourth-quarter comebacks last season. 8. And honestly, if the circumstances around him in his rookie year hadn't been so brutally mismanaged, largely from a coaching standpoint, that number would have been even higher. He has delivered in the clutch, back-to-back seasons, and that is simply not up for debate. If Caleb can tighten up his consistency throughout full games, not just the fourth quarter, but from the opening drive, he enters an entirely different stratosphere. The kind of stratosphere where opposing defensive coordinators lose sleep on Saturday nights. The Josh Allen tier. The Patrick Mahomes tier. He's not fully there yet, but the trajectory is undeniable. You can absolutely win a Super Bowl with Caleb Williams under center. That checkbox gets a firm tick. 3 offensive playmakers. Also yes, and it's not even close. Yes, DJ Moore was moved on from, but think about why. Because this offense had too much talent to keep everyone happy. That's a good problem to have. Cole Kmet is an elite receiving tight end, full stop. No debate needed there. Rome Odunze showed flashes of genuine stardom by the end of last season. Luther Burden III came alive and showed exactly why the front office was so high on him. DeAndre Swift ran the football at a level that reminded everyone just how dangerous a complete back can be in a modern offense. And then there's Kyle Manengai, a 7th-round rookie who nearly cracked 1,000 all-purpose yards. That's not depth, that's hidden treasure. Throw in the potential of Xavier Thomas giving you a few explosive performances, and maybe a young receiver stepping up from nowhere, and this team has not 3 but potentially 5 legitimate weapons. The playmaker box. Checked and then some. 3 quality offensive linemen, still a yes, even with the heartbreak of Drew Dalman's retirement. That retirement stings. Let's not pretend it doesn't. But Tevin Jenkins, wait, let's be precise here. Darnell Wright and Joe Thuney are not just good offensive linemen, they are elite ones. 2 anchors on the same unit is something most franchises would trade their draft capital for. Jonah Jackson, when he's locked in, is a well-above-average guard who completes that trio comfortably. Yes, left tackle and center carry question marks heading into the season. Can Braxton Jones rediscover his pre-injury form? Will Logan Jones develop into a long-term solution at center? Those are legitimate concerns. But the standard here is 3 quality guys, and you have that. Right, Thuney, Jackson? Done. Now here's where things get uncomfortable. And this is the question of the day, so drop your answer in the comments. Do you believe the Bears can win a Super Bowl without a dominant pass rusher, or is that the one piece that makes everything else irrelevant? Because when we get to pass rushers, the answer is no. And it's not even a reluctant no. It's a clear-eyed, honest assessment of where this roster stands. Montez Sweat is a solid player. On a great team, he's your number 2 rusher. but as your headliner. As the guy who's supposed to make quarterbacks panic every single week. The ceiling feels limited. Javon Dersher recorded 6 sacks last year, but even those felt somewhat random, not the kind of sustained, disruptive pressure that changes the identity of a defense. Grady Jarrett is a respected veteran, but his best football is behind him. Austin Booker is genuinely interesting. There's real upside there, and if he takes a significant leap, maybe you're talking about 8 or 9 sacks from him. But even in the best-case scenario where Sweat hits 10 sacks and Booker erupts for 8 or 9, you're still talking about 2 solid contributors rather than 2 guys who can dominate a game on their own. This is the one category in this entire framework where the Bears fall short without question. It's not a maybe. It's the honest truth. And unless they make a significant move before the season kicks off, that vulnerability will be tested every single week. Defensive playmakers, and this one sits right in the middle. Call it a hopeful maybe. The back 7 of this defense has a ceiling that is genuinely exciting. Curry Willis, actually, Devin Witherspoon, wait, let's be accurate. Kyler Gordon, when healthy, is a legitimate weapon in the secondary. Jaylon Johnson at his best is one of the better corners in this conference. Keenan Allen, no, Tremaine Edmonds brings experience and reliability. Tariq Stevenson makes splash plays but also gives up too many. Consistency is still a work in progress for him. And if a rookie in the front 7 takes that year 2 leap and becomes the playmaker everyone believes he can be, suddenly this unit looks completely different. But here's the honest tension. 4 or 5 of these names come packaged with real question marks. Health. Consistency. New scheme fits. These aren't nitpicks, they're legitimate variables. The front 4's range of outcomes is narrow and, candidly, uninspiring. The back 7's range is enormous. At their ceiling, they could be a top 5 defensive unit in the entire league. At their floor, they're frustratingly average. That variance makes a definitive yes impossible to give right now. So let's add it up. Quarterback, yes. Offensive playmakers, yes. Offensive line, yes. Pass rushers, no. Defensive playmakers, too early to call. 3 out of 5. Maybe 3.5 out of 5 if the defense clicks. Is that Super Bowl caliber? Not yet. But is it closer than this fan base has dared to believe in years? Absolutely. And here's something the framework doesn't account for: coaching. The offensive mind calling plays for this team is one of the brightest in the entire league. The defensive coordinator brings an aggressive, creative system that this roster has the talent to execute at a high level. Leadership matters. Culture matters. And right now, both are pointed in the right direction. So the final question, and this one's for you: if the Bears fall short this season, what do you think will be the single biggest reason why? Is it the pass rush? Defensive inconsistency? Or something we haven't even talked about yet? Leave your answer below. The comments section belongs to you. The Bears are close. How close? That's what this season is going to answer. Bear down.